This is Sporting Life.
Well, Patrick Mullins joins us again, and Patrick, it's seemingly very much game on in the British trainers' title race then. Has it been fairly hectic? Give us a bit of an insight then, looking, planning this kind of next week or so. I see you've got 8 runners at Foss on Monday, for instance. I mean, it's going to be a busy time.
Yeah, look, I suppose after the good entry and with I Am Maximus winning the $500,000 in the Grand National, it's put us in a position where we can challenge. So it's all hands on deck, and David Casey's been going through the program book with a fine-tooth comb, and I suppose anything that we can throw at it, we will, yeah.
Yeah, not quite $500,000, but there is big prize money after at Ayr. That comes up this weekend. Obviously, the Scottish Grand National itself. You're back on Mr. Incredible in the race. He turns out quickly after his latest mishap at entry. I'm guessing you'll be hoping they kind of get away first time on him and it doesn't result in a standing start. How has he been, first things first?
Yeah, look, he came out of the race fine. I mean, he just Brian got knocked off him. He didn't get a fall or anything. So he didn't go very far competitively. So he came out of it very well. Look, he's a lot of weight, 11.9 at mark of 153. But anytime he's completed, he's got prize money. So hopefully, if you could run into some place prize money, a bit like Tesco, every little helps.
And you know he stays, don't you? Which isn't necessarily the case with not only your other horses, but many horses in this race. You know, he has got the stamina for this. He showed that at Uttoxeter when running on for second in the Midlands National.
That's it. You know, he's definitely stable. I think the Scottish National always looks like quite a quick race to me. Now, maybe it'll be softer ground this year, but I think the fences are, I'm told, a little bit smaller and softer, and hopefully he doesn't jump too well. But yeah, he should be staying on at the end.
Let's spin through the other 5 then. Was Paul fairly clear when it came to choosing his? He's on the novice Spanish Harlem, seemingly has stamina to prove.
Yeah, no, it wasn't an easy decision for him. But I think we've always liked Spanish Harlem, and we kind of feel that he hasn't shown his full potential yet. It's going to be a big ask, his first handicap. But, you know, we do see in these big handicaps that unexposed novices have a great record. So I think he's rolling the dice with him, that hopefully he can finally show on the racetrack what he shows us at home.
What about on the roads for Cheveley Park Stud then? He was a good horse, a good stayer a couple of years ago, seemingly struggling a little bit for form at the moment.
Yeah, look, since he's come back from his injury layoff, he takes a lot to get fit, and he pulled up his first 2 runs on very heavy ground, but a small return to form last time, 7th. I expect him to improve again, and you know, I think the ground in Ayr is going to be nicer than what he has been running on, and that will help him because he's a presenting.
Okay, what about McDermot then? He was certainly favourite for this at the start of the week. I'm not totally sure how that's panned out after the jockey bookings and things, but he's up in class, isn't he? And he fell a couple of starts ago. Did you think his jumping was a good bit better last time?
Yeah, I think maybe the fall might have crowned him. You know, sometimes a fall can improve a horse. They learn from it, and I think he did that. Look, he won very impressively in Fairy House, but that was a couple of grades below what he's doing now, and I think he's up 16 or 17 pounds from the mark he won on then. So, you know, it's going to be hard to win again, to have another 10 pounds up your sleeve, perhaps. I think maybe that's why Paul was happy to chance Spanish Harlem. But I think Danny's very happy to be left on McDermot, and definitely the step up in trip could well help him. He's a very gross horse, and he's a horse that needs lots of racing to get fit. You'll see that in his form. So there's every chance that he will improve, but the problem is, can he improve more than the handicapper has already suggested?
The 2 more rounding out the team for the big race on Saturday are Clark Kent and Will Have Won. Now the latter, he was 6th in the Irish National, fairly well fancied on the day. Is he a horse still with a fair bit of potential over these marathon distances?
Well, look, he won a 100 grand race over hurdles, and he's been second in a 100 grand race over fences. So he's probably getting to the end of his you know, he hasn't got a whole lot hidden from the handicapper. But I just thought he made a few crucial errors, maybe the 4th, 5th and 6th last in Fairy House that knocked him back. He's not a big horse, and again, I think these smaller fences will help him jump a bit better. We put the cheek pieces back on him. He ran too keen with them in Punchestown, but I think this race will be ran at a faster gallop, which will help him settle, and I think they'll get him to jump sharper. He's right down the bottom of the weights, and he has to have a big chance.
You personally, your horse, best chance of the day? Would you pick one out of here?
Oh, well, look, I think it's a tricky race. Nothing that maybe stands out majorly, but I think Paul has gone for the percentage calls. Spanish Harlem is a horse we think a lot of, and he's unexposed. So, and again, his jumping maybe on heavy ground over bigger fences hasn't been as sharp as it could have been. And I think this nicer ground and slightly smaller fences might finally get him to click.
Okay, you've got runners in plenty of the other races now. Seemingly a sign of the times, I suppose. Shajaros, a horse you know really well. He lines up under top weight in the novice handicap chase. 3 miles first time for him, and maybe drying ground might be in his favour. What do you make of his chances over 3?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, last year he was second to Constitution Hill in the ancient hurdle over 2.5. And, horses can generally stay a bit further over fences. Look, he's loving life. He's in great form. He really enjoyed jumping fences. And it's going to be difficult with that much weight. But I think 3 miles, he's going to be well within his comfort zone going around there. I think it's a flat track. I think it's a fast track. I think there's plenty in his favour. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if he could get back in the winner's enclosure.
Okay, we will just touch on another couple. You've got in the 2 mile 4 furlong novices hurdle, kadab and Billericay Dickey. That's the latter again. You ride him with Paul on kadab. Paul's ride first. He ran a really promising race in the Martin Pipe at Cheltenham, and I see he's obviously in the Grade 1 at Punchestown. He's going to be quite a short price for this. Do you all lad up against it facing kadab here?
Yeah, look, kadab, he's a very solid horse. He's not flashy. He only does what he has to. Ran very well in Cheltenham, so he's got solid form. And he does set the standard at 2.5 miles in this race. But I'm quietly happy to be on Billericay Dickey. We're getting £4. He's a very fast horse. I think he's a flat type horse. Showed a good turn of foot in Punchestown. Now, look, it's only his second run over hurdles. He's going to have to, hurdle well. But I think if we can get down to the last hurdle within striking distance, we just might have an extra gear than kadab, perhaps.
Well, it should be really interesting to watch how this weekend unfolds, and next week, of course, as well. But good luck on Saturday. Stay safe, Patrick. I'm sure we'll catch up again prior to Sandown next weekend.
Great. Thanks so much, Matt.
Download the Sporting Life app for the best racing coverage, including live racing blogs, fast results, stable tours, trainer and jockey interviews, expert opinion, and tips.